It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go. Monday show to January 8th, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, with a very distracted Tom Mazaway. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox local app if you are watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, coming up on 60,000 subscribers on this platform, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We've got Pete Spivak. We've got Brandon Dent in here as well. You may know him better as Detroit Kool-Aid. That's right. Braylon in Houston, gearing up for the big game tonight. Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, Ryan, what a great weekend and what a great night we have to look forward to, man. This is the greatest football week in Michigan history. I'm the state of Michigan.
You read my tweet last night then. That's
Actually,
exactly what I tweeted out.
Ain't it the truth?
I don't think in the history of our lives.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just forget about take the last 40 years. Okay?
Okay.
Is there a better 6-7 day period in this city's history, in this state's history, than right now what we're about to embark upon?
I don't see how it can be. Because if we go 40 years back, that takes us to what, 83? 84?
Yeah.
The Lions stunk in 84. Michigan was nothing special. Michigan State was nothing special. This is it, man. The Lions are on the precipice of hosting their first playoff game in 30-plus years. And Michigan is playing for the national championship in a playoff. It's not a mythical championship. There's no voting here. They win, they're the champions. The Lions win, they go on to the divisional round, then the NFC championship, and then the Super Bowl. It's all in their hands.
So we'll run it down for you. Coming up at 2:30 today, or 30 minutes in if you're not watching live, we will talk to Sean McDonough. He's got the play-by-play of the Michigan-Washington game tonight on ESPN Radio. At 3 o'clock, we're going to try to track somebody down from Houston. We'll talk plenty of Lions today as well. And really, that's where we'll start with the Detroit Lions. Obviously, look.
How do you not?
We're very excited about Michigan tonight. I feel like tomorrow is going to be a heavy Michigan day. We will react to the game. Hopefully there will be a national championship. We will break down some of the game later today. We'll do that with Sean McDonough. But I think as a whole, this city is on fire regarding the Detroit Lions for many reasons. And Maz, we were at the game yesterday. It was a great game to be at with you from the tailgate at Bullseye. We were at that Bullseye tailgate. That was tremendous.
Fantastic, man. That's the first time I've been to the Bullseye event down in Shed 5 at Eastern Market. Plenty of parking outside. You walk in, and it is wall-to-wall food, drink, great music, the big screen's on. You're following the pregame shows. And all the Lion fans there. I saw a couple of Purple People Eaters in there as well. Everyone in a great mood. Brandon Dent is there, Kool-Aid, interviewing people. And didn't I say the score was going to be 30-23?
You did.
I was close.
Actually. You were close.
I was close. Ryan had a 10-point spread. He hit it on the nose. It was just phenomenal. I mean, I wish I could. I'm hungry right now. I wish I could be put back into that Shed 5 yesterday because I would have done a lot more damage.
Without question. And just, regarding the lines, that I think it was Mike Tirico last night during the Bills and the Dolphins game, as they entered the fourth quarter, it hit me because he said it. He's like, this is the final regular season quarter. This is the final quarter of the regular season. And you think about how much you talk about football all year long, the NFL, football in general. And last night, the regular season ended. And here we are on the brink of the playoffs. First game here in Detroit in 30 years. And just before we get to the Matthew Stafford coming back, Rams, Lions, how poetic is this playoff here in Detroit? Can we just say to the Detroit Lions, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions. I mean, Dan Campbell talked about it earlier this year, the first time they met as a team, and you're getting a look right now if you're watching on YouTube of the Spirit of Detroit.
That's never happened.
Donning Cam Sutton's #1 jersey.
That's never happened. In my years here, that's never happened.
I don't remember the last time a Lions jersey. We've seen Tigers.
Red
We've
Wings.
seen Michigan. We've seen Michigan State. We've seen Pistons. We've seen Wings. I can't remember the last time the Detroit Lions jersey was on the Spirit of Detroit. But nonetheless, 12 wins in a season, should have been 13. We're not going to focus any energy on that right now. But nonetheless, Maz, for the first time since 91 to have a 12-win season, for the first time since 93 to win a division, this has been just absolutely remarkable.
It's been pleasure all the way through. Although the Seahawk loss, that hurt. And then the losses at Baltimore. That was you just put that in the rearview mirror. You trip up against the Bears, and you got the Dallas game that was stolen from you. This was pure entertainment for Lion fans. And I consider myself a big Lion fan. I really do. I know I came from Jersey, and you guys bust my chops. I like every team. Yeah, I get it. I love the NFL. Everything I own has a piece of sports on it. It's just the way I am. I still have my comforter from Sears with all the NFL teams on it. I still have that comforter. I just love the game. It's getting better and better. Sure, it's not the old days where they knock your heads off and the good teams always win. This is a time where the NFL, anyone could win this damn thing. Anybody. And our Lions are one of those teams. Sure, did it hurt that we lost 2 guys yesterday? We'll talk about it. Sure it did. But this team is ready, man, and they've given us pure joy this year. We've lost 1 game. That's our streak. How do you bitch about that?
And I think part of that too, Tom, is this season really never had a huge lull. I mean, there was the Seattle game that came back and won. There was the Baltimore game that came back and won the next week. There were these blips on the radar. Even the Dallas game. Okay, you lose the Dallas game, you come back, you win the Minnesota game. For the first time since '72, they went through an entire NFL season without losing 2 games in a row. And I think that is pretty good for a fan of a team. When you're watching this season never really hit that big of a rough patch. Sure, there were rough days, but I don't think there were rough patches. And I think Dan Campbell and the players on this team deserve a lot of credit for that. Here's Dan Campbell in the locker room after the game, just so excited about completing the regular season. Here it is.
All right, hey, listen, man, it's a great job now. It's a great job. All right, there's nothing easy about that. You come in this type of environment that we have, but I know this. You guys, here's what winners do. They win, and they go handle their business. It was the next challenge, and you guys stepped up and did exactly what you needed to do. It was back and forth, but man, you talk about all phases, complimenting each other and coming to life. We did that. Special teams, holy shit. That was some of the best play we've had in 3 years. You talk about we have been hardened by adversity. All right, we've been battle tested. To do what we've been able to do, man, you got to have the right ownership. And I'm just telling you, it's the Ford family, but Sheila is the one who we deal with, man, on a day-to-day basis. And without her,
I'm not as athletic as she is.
Thank you. Yes. No, thank you.
No, thank you. You guys are the best, and we've just begun. I'm so proud of our whole team. Was it for how many years? Like 15, like 60 years. Yeah. And I have never been more proud of this. I'm going to.
Very good. Hey, listen, great job, man. Great job. We're hardened and ready to go, man. We're ready. All right, break it out.
Hey, you all saw that banner out there? We got more of those things to hang now. Let's go to work now. Win on 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Woo! Break it down.
I mean, how great is that, Tom? I'll tell you, for Martha to come into the locker room after the game yesterday, too. Sheila gets the game ball, and she should.
She should.
And Martha to say, in 60 years, I've never been so proud of a group of guys, never been more proud of a team. That is really, really good stuff. And that is, we talk, again, you go back to this word culture that you've gone to so many times. That is so important. And what the Lions ownership, Sheila, Hamp, and everybody included in the front office there, what they've done to this culture is really, really special.
Fantastic. And we know the story of Sheila Ford Hamp. Yeah, she goes by Sheila Hamp now. I know there's a reason for that. Everyone wanted a new owner, right? We all said, gotta get rid of the Fords. We never really meant it. Maybe some of us did. But she dropped that moniker because it is a new Lions. When she took this over and she brought these men in, and she got a guy like Chris Spielman back involved with the team, and you bring Brad Holmes in, and they bring an entire entourage of guys in. John Dorsey, the president.
Rod
Wood. And the rest of these guys, they all work great together. It's an amazing thing. And then when the Lions started off bad, what did she do? She came out and she said, look, I hired these men. They're taking us in the right direction. We got to give them the time. We got to give them the trust. I trust them. You trust me. Let's move forward. And look where we are, 12 wins, only the second time in the Super Bowl era.
No doubt about it. And now it's on to the playoffs. So the Lions will play who else but Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams.
It was close.
And you know, so many people talk about Stafford coming back to Detroit to play the Lions. What about Jared Goff? You know, having the opportunity to exact some revenge on the team that basically threw him to the trash.
Facts.
That's exactly what they did. When Jared Goff was traded to Detroit was
the bottom of the barrel.
Not one of the worst organizations in the NFL. At the time, they were one of the worst organizations in sports. Mm-hmm. That's what Sean McVay and the LA Rams did to Jared Goff. They said, we're not even going to send you somewhere nice. We're going to send you to the Detroit Lions. Go have at it. And so I think, yes, it's great that Matthew Stafford is here, but I also think probably even more so that Jared Goff having the opportunity to stick his nose up at his former head coach, Sean McVay, I think that's pretty good stuff too.
It's fantastic. Here's the problem. Sean McVay is a pretty smart guy. And he did that move because he thought Matthew Stafford was the upgrade. And at the time, if you looked at both quarterbacks, I think everybody in the room would agree that Matthew Stafford had it. And all he needed was a team like the Rams. And they went and won a Super Bowl. Sure, they almost lost. They could have lost those games and not made it to the Super Bowl. Hell, Tom Brady almost beat them. But he made it. And Jared Goff, what did he win the first year? What did we win? 3 games?
Yes, 3-13-1.
3 games.
They were 0-10, I believe.
How do you think he felt with his team winning a Super Bowl and him winning 3 games? Yet, he stuck with it. And because a bunch of guys believed in him. Brad Holmes was one of the guys that drafted him over in L.A. And here he comes. And he's turned it all around. And he has had a fantastic year. As good or better than Matthew Stafford has had. And he's healthy. He's not turning the ball over. When he does, they lose. They're going to have to protect him. The whole line's going to have to play a great game. Aaron Donald, remember the last time he played Penei Sewell? I know I do. He stood right up to him, pushed him right back on his helmet, and he was a rookie at the time. I cannot wait for this game. I wish we were 100%. We're not. We'll play with the guys we got.
Should they have played the starters yesterday? We will tackle that. Also, Dan Campbell at the podium earlier this afternoon, just moments ago actually, talked about Sam Laporta's injury. And I have to say one thing about Khalif Raymond for the group of...
Why is he in there?
Why is he in there? If the starters were taken out, Khalif Raymond is playing anyway.
He is.
So just keep that in mind as we move forward here. But you will hear from Dan Campbell, addressed the media today just moments ago. We'll do that next. Is Sam Laporta good to go this week? We'll have that for you coming up. But first, a message from us here at WSN Woodward Sports Network. We want to let you know that if you're tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch, we have a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com. Click on the shop tab. Hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today. woodwardsports.com. woodwardsports.com. Click on the shop tab.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 and make your home buying dreams come true. And now back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
All right, guys, obviously one of the big stories that happened, if not the big story that happened on the field yesterday, was the fact that Sam Laporta, it looked terrible. Now, being in the stands, we couldn't really see.
And they didn't show the replay either.
They did not show it. And we really couldn't see what had happened. The only thing I saw being in the stands was Laporta going to the locker room on a cart.
And I saw him when he was sitting up first. And then he just took his helmet off and fell backwards in despair. I said, man, that don't look good.
So one of the things that Dan Campbell said yesterday after the game was that it looked worse than it was, but it's still not good. Moments ago, he was at the podium in Allen Park and had this to say regarding Sam Laporta's injury.
No, I think we'll be all right. You know, I mean, look, I know Brad's got his eyes open. You know, he's constantly looking to see if there's somewhere that'll help us. But look, Laporta's got an outside shot now, so we'll see. We'll know a lot in 48 hours. We're gonna know a lot with him, but he's got an outside shot. I think Leaf's kind of in that boat, maybe a little bit farther away than Laporta. But it's very much, we're talking in days, not weeks, I think, here, which is a good thing. Brock is doing much better. JMO's doing much better. So we're in a pretty good spot right now.
Oh, that feels good.
Look, that would be incredible if he could play this week, Maz. Now, I don't know if that's just coach speak or not, because Sam Laporta is this team's number one target in the red zone.
No doubt.
Everything this team does when they get inside the 20 revolves around where Sam Laporta is on the field. This is a major blow if the Lions do not have Sam Laporta specifically in that red zone. However, if they can somehow find a way to get past the LA Rams without him, it doesn't look like he'll be that much, he'll miss that much time.
Yeah, he's talking days, which is great.
Yeah.
Days instead of weeks. Man, that sounded great to me. And, you know, you can read this guy's body language pretty much. I believe what he's saying. I don't think it's coach speak. But you know what? How easy it is for the Rams to get ready for this Lions team without Sam Laporta. It's a lot easier. And now he's saying, you know, Brad's checking everything out. We know what he's looking at. Zach Ertz is out there. Everyone, right away, they said Zach Ertz is there. He's been waiting. He got his release about a month ago from the Cardinals, and he's been waiting for the right spot. Not sure if he's 100% healthy. Otherwise, maybe he would have signed with someone already. But he is out there in case you need an all-pro, former all-pro guy in your locker room, maybe to help out. I don't think that would be a bad signing at all as a stopgap, just in case. But he said Brock Wright's been out for a while, and he's feeling good. I believe him. JMO, hey, if there's no tight end standout to have J-Mo back at 100%, guess what? It's time to unwrap the present.
Can I say this, too, about the tight end position? If it wasn't for James Mitchell's catch yesterday in a big spot on a third down, I believe it was third down, to keep the chains going, there is no telling what would have happened yesterday on the field. I mean, maybe Minnesota gets the ball back and they lose that game. Not that it matters, perhaps.
It did in the long run.
But I'll tell you this. James Mitchell had a really good day yesterday. And I'm not saying he's Sam Laporta. Nobody is. In fact, Sam Laporta finished his rookie season with 85 catches, 889 yards, and 10 touchdowns. That establishes a new single-season record for receptions by a tight end. With 85 receptions, number one in NFL history, passes Keith Jackson in 1981 with 81 receptions.
Eagles.
His 10 touchdowns ties Rob Gronkowski, for the second most touchdown receptions by a rookie tight end in NFL history. What this guy was able to do, Maz, this season was something we have never seen before in NFL history.
How does he get so open? Did you see the first touchdown was in the end zone where you and I were sitting in? He is wide open. This guy, how do you not cover him? He's that good a football player to get that open. And it's a great, obviously, great play design by Ben Johnson. But this guy don't drop passes. He blocks. Yeah, he had a couple of games where he wasn't as much of a big factor. But he is a huge factor. And I think he's Jared Goff's 1A with Amon-Ra St. Brown target. And that's tough. If he could play, or if he could be a freaking decoy, that would help. This injury is very similar, if you remember, to Travis Kelce at the beginning of the year. And he got hurt a few days prior.
I think it was
practice.
Like the Thursday of the
Wednesday or Thursday.
It was the Tuesday of a Thursday game, I think it was.
Yeah, it was in a practice.
Yeah.
And he got hurt, and it was a hyperextended knee with a bone bruise. Dr. David Chow right away said, oh, that's at least a 2-week injury. And he did not play against the Lions. But this one, maybe it's a little bit better. Kelce did play the following week. But can I say this? He wasn't the same guy all year round. He wasn't. I don't want to rush this guy back. But if he could play, man, I'd put him in as a decoy, whatever it takes.
Yeah, and
this is it. It's one and done.
This
now.
is the time of year to do that too. I mean, you're not going to risk a player's future for one game, but if you are going to get out there and try to play through something, this is the week to do it. There's no doubt about that. I just think now, look, as soon as this happened, the conversation went to, should these guys have been in the game in the first place? And the answer to me is an emphatic yes. All of these players should have absolutely played. You cannot play scared. You've gone all season long. You've played the game. You've played football. Football is a violent game. Injuries happen. The Lions have been relatively lucky. I know they have CJ GJ and James Houston and Lee McNeil and all these guys have missed some time. J-Mo earlier in the season and the gambling suspension, but he was injured as well. I know these things happen, but they have escaped catastrophic injury.
Yes.
And knock on wood. And I think if Philadelphia did lose, Dallas was losing in the second quarter. What would the conversation be like today if Washington did in fact beat Dallas and the Lions just sat everybody and lost?
Yeah. We would have.
You okay with that?
No. And I got news for you. He got injured in the second quarter. How do you know Dan Campbell wasn't going to sit him in the second half? You play your players in the first half, and then maybe you sit in the second half. They left a lot of points on the board, off the board there in the first half. They could have been up big, and they could have sat everyone, including Jared Goff, which I was hoping that would happen. But Minnesota plays tough, and they had nothing to lose, and they were going for it on fourth down, and they got a lot of great playmakers. Justin Jefferson is just amazing. Did you see him switching jerseys with Amon-Ra St. Brown? And I think someone wrote on Twitter that he heard Jefferson tell Amon, hey, come get me.
Right.
Hey, tell the guys to come get me. Oh, my God.
Well, can I just say this, too? and one of the things that happened yesterday, we all laugh about that stuff, but what the Lions organization did yesterday for Josh Reynolds was something that every free agent will notice. Josh Reynolds had 2 opportunities yesterday to make $250,000. One, he needed a touchdown. 1 score, and he'd get a $250,000 bonus.
I bet that, by the way.
The other, if he got 36 yards, he would reach, I believe it's 600 on the year, and he would get another $250,000 bonus. There were 3 attempts in the end zone for Josh Reynolds. Now, he didn't get that touchdown, but at the end of the game, when it was all salted away, the Lions, instead of taking a knee, instead of turning around and handing the ball off, they were throwing the ball, and Minnesota knew what they were doing too. They were throwing the ball, I think it was 4 consecutive passes to Josh Reynolds to get him his bonus of $250,000. Here's what Josh Reynolds does for this team. Here's what Dan Campbell says about Josh Reynolds on why they chose to do that at the end of the game yesterday.
I felt like we needed to do everything we could to get that player. When that player does all the dirty work he does for us, all the stuff in the run game, all the blocking, all the unselfish play, then we're going to do whatever it takes to get him something that he's got. And that's the mindset. That's all.
Now, if you notice, the kneel downs should have happened, right? But the Vikings, they know. These things, they know. And they're trying to feed this guy.
That's the fraternity part of it.
They all notice. And if you notice in the Atlanta-New Orleans game, it wasn't the same. We'll talk about that later, but there was a big blow-up in the Atlanta-New Orleans
game. And as Broder
game.
says in the chat, too, Kevin O'Connell, the Minnesota Vikings head coach, was totally cool with what was going on yesterday. He knew, and as a former player, I think you appreciate something like that. But just going back to what you said about Justin Jefferson and, tell him to come get me, I think every player and every agent notices stuff like that.
You bet. Not only that, they notice where the Lions are. There'd be nobody telling any Lion receiver or running back or quarterback or anybody, hey, tell your team to come after me in free agency. Now, I think the Lions are a top 5 organization. When I'm saying top 5 organization, I mean they're built from the bottom up. They've got a great staff in place, great coaching staff, phenomenal executive board, and they've got a hell of a bunch of great rookies. And with the draft coming up in Detroit, I only expect it to get better. This is a place where people want to go now. You remember, we all laughed when Goff came to Birmingham, Michigan, and he had security with him. He didn't know what he was in for. Before you know it, he's very comfortable here, him and his fiancée, now his wife, in Birmingham. So this place, we're on the way up. I was driving on Woodward yesterday after the game. I stood after the game. Right? You guys left about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I stood to the end of the kids' touchdown run, which went for another hour.
Really?
Because there were kids coming by the thousands. It wouldn't stop. And Lily, my daughter, has an internship with the Lions. And I said, we'll wait for you, honey. She's like, no, I'll go home with my friends. I'm like, no, we'll wait. How long could it be? And I just kept waiting and waiting. And you keep seeing more kids coming down the concourse and the touchdown run. And, of course, the PA guy is still there talking to everyone, doing a great job. His name is Chris Freaching. Great job on the mic, by the way, for him. The Lion PA guy is great. The kid, Anthony Bellino, that does the on-field stuff, great. This team used to be a joke. This team is like a Vegas show now. It really is. I'm very happy going to Ford Field. I used to tear it to shreds. Can't get Wi-Fi. The sound sucked. The TVs look like they're analog. Now it's beautiful again. And it's the Silver Dome for me. It is a home field advantage. No team wants to come in here. Wait till you hear next Sunday night. They're not going to hear one damn thing, Stafford and his boys. They're not going to hear nothing.
Very excited about next week. We'll get back into some Lions talk. Very excited for these guys, too. Tonight, it is the Michigan Wolverines. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. It's great. We are expected to be joined by Sean McDonough, who has the play-by-play call for the national championship game tonight on ESPN Radio. He will join us next. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Find your local Planet Fitness today to join or visit them online at planetfitness.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey, welcome back. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Coming up on 60,000 subscribers on this platform. We appreciate all of you. It's a big night here locally. I don't think there is a bigger place for football than the state of Michigan right now over the next 7 days. You've got the national championship game tonight, and then, of course, the Lions hosting their first playoff game in 30 years on Sunday. This next 6 days is going to be pretty big around here.
It's about time.
To help us talk about it, the great Sean McDonough, of course, college football on ESPN ABC, lead analyst for lead play-by-play guy for the NHL as well. Maybe a Red Wings question from Maz as well. But Sean's got the call tonight on ESPN Radio. How you doing, Sean?
Hey,
Thanks
Sean.
for the time.
Hey, hi guys.
It's great to have you.
Absolutely great to have you.
But I get right back into hockey mode on Saturday on ABC. We have the Rangers and the Washington Capitals in the first of our weekly Saturday games. So looking forward to getting back into the hockey, but extremely excited about what we have here in Houston tonight in a few hours.
Those blue shirts are doing good again.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Hey,
and that's
Sean.
a good thing. You know, it's good on television when New York teams do
Yep.
well because they tend to rate.
Amen.
Well.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Anytime the original six, I would think, do well, it's good for the game. Hey, Sean, let me ask you about tonight. First and foremost, do you believe the best two teams in the country are playing tonight?
Yes, I really do. And I'm more convinced about that now that I have seen Washington in person. I thought Texas was really talented. I thought they were as talented as anybody. You know, we had a couple of their games during the year, and they kind of reminded me, you know, athletically, talent standpoint, depth, coaching, kind of like the Alabama and Georgia teams that have dominated college football for the last 15 years or so. I mean, to me, that's how good their talent level is. And, you know, Washington won the game and did what they needed to do to win the game. You know, Texas had a really good defensive front, and they didn't give up a sack, Washington, the whole night. I think that's going to be a big part of this game tonight. Obviously, Michigan does a great job rushing the passer. They're a terrific defensive team, maybe the best defensive team in the country. So when Washington's on offense, it's strength against strength. And Texas didn't really come that close to sacking Michael Penix the other night in the Sugar Bowl. And, you know, they've given up 11 sacks all year. And as you know, Michigan had 6 against Alabama, but that Alabama offensive line struggles where this is the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line for Washington. So I think they are the two best teams. Georgia was number 1 a lot of the year. But I thought all year it wasn't as good a Georgia team as it's been. Alabama's not as good as they've been. So I think the two best teams are here.
You know, you mentioned strength on strength. You know, growing up and even now, you hear offense wins games, defense wins championships. And Sean, you know, when you look at these two teams, I think Washington has scored 31 or more points in 11 of their 14 games. Michigan's never allowed 30 all season.
Right. They haven't allowed more than 24. You know, that's one of the contrasts between the two teams. I have my charts right here.
Love it.
Look at that.
The hay is in the barn. One of the problems when you write stuff all over the place, you have to be able to find it. Washington's given up 20 points or more in 10 of their 14 games, including each of the last 7. They've given up at least 20 in each of the last 7. Michigan has given up 20 points or more only 3 times the whole year. Now, and a high of 24. So, you know, there's no question. You know, Michigan is the better defensive team. The thing that Washington has done well all season long on defense, you know, the stats aren't great, but they have the knack, and they've had a lot of close games. They've had 10 games in a row decided by 10 points or less. The last 4 by a total of 14 points. No team has ever won in the history of college football in the poll area 10 games in a row by 10 points or less. So they've had the knack for winning the close games, and one of the reasons why is the defense makes just enough big plays at the right time to win the game. And we saw that on the last play of the game against Texas. Texas is throwing the ball in the end zone to win the game and pulled off one of the most remarkable comebacks ever. And my voice probably would have cracked. I've been asked a lot this week about Michigan and Michigan State, but obviously Washington made the play. So here's what I hope with your audience here tonight. You know, some of the Wolverine fans, you know, they kind of get on me because of that Michigan State ending. If Michigan wins the national championship tonight, and it's an exciting play to end it, and my voice cracks and I get super excited, are we good? Like it was.
Yeah. Man.
I called that other play the same way, even if Michigan State lost and Michigan won. Had nothing to do with who won. It was just the dramatic ending part of it. So maybe we'll get back to eating.
We don't want trouble with the snap today.
The smart people don't blame me for that.
No.
Don't kill the messenger. Right?
No trouble with the snap tonight, Sean. Please. No trouble with the snap.
Sean, we have a very smart audience. I think just by the fact that you've joined us over the years, I think that has put you in the good graces from here to kingdom come, I'm sure.
Hey, and I'm all for the Lions. You know,
yes.
My buddy and long broadcast partner, Chris Spielman's one of my dearest friends. I was texting with him this morning, in fact. And I agree with what you said about the game presentation right before I came on. I stayed after a Michigan game we did last year and went to a Lions game against Miami. And the game presentation was awesome. And I didn't even know that the Lions had this catchy little song.
Forward down the field.
So I loved it. We'll be cheering hard for them. I don't know a better human being than Chris Spielman. So I'm all on board. And Kerry Spielman, too.
Of course.
Was there any doubt that they would have gotten it right here? Was there any doubt that they would have gotten it right? You know, with a guy like...
I knew when Chris was there,
yeah.
He's had a lot to do with the hiring of the coach, the GM, and I think, he helps advise in a lot of different areas of the organization while maintaining a low profile. But I think, the people in that building respect the heck out of him, as they should, because of, his life in football and his knowledge and the kind of person he is. So I think he deserves a lot of credit for what's happened there. Knowing Chris, he won't take it, and if someone tried to give it to him, he'd shy away from it, but I'm thrilled for him because he literally is one of the best people I've ever met in my life.
Couldn't agree more, Sean. How about tonight's game, about Jim Harbaugh, Kalen DeBoer? What kind of job do you think Jim Harbaugh has done here at Michigan to get him here? 3rd straight playoff appearance, all the stuff against him. You know everything about it. What kind of guy is Jim Harbaugh, coach-wise?
I think he's one of the great coaches in America. I think he's demonstrated that for a long time. And just look at the track record. Everywhere he's coached, they were down before he got there, and he's won big. University of San Diego, 29-6. Stanford won 1 game the year before he got there. They won 12 his last year, won the Orange Bowl, goes to the 49ers. They were one of the worst teams in the NFL. Has 4 terrific seasons, I think 3 appearances in the championship, NFC championship, and obviously one in the Super Bowl. And now here at Michigan, what he's done here. So, if they win tonight, this is the best 3-year stretch in the history of Michigan football, isn't it?
Period.
Absolutely.
for Ohio State, 3 straight top 3 finishes, capped by a national championship. To me, it'd be the greatest 3-year stretch. I mean, they've won one national championship since 1948. So I think it's pretty easily the best 3-year stretch in the history of Michigan football.
Hey, jumping ahead, do you think he stays, Sean?
I don't know. My guess would be no. And I think it would be easier for him to leave if they win tonight, right? I mean, go out on top. You went back to your alma mater. You brought him back to the top of the mountain. And, I think he feels like he has unfinished business in the NFL. I know it really hurt that he lost the really excruciating Super Bowl to his brother John. He's going to be here tonight, by the way, because the Ravens have a bye week in the first round of the playoffs. So
awesome.
I would think he'd go back, and I don't blame him. I mean, obviously, coaching college football is not easy. It was already hard, and then you add in NIL and the transfer portal and all the other stuff that goes into it. It's even harder than it was, and it was hard. It's been hard for a long time. Now, the good news for the college coaches is they get paid a lot to deal with all that aggravation. Mm-hmm. But if I had to guess, I think if the opportunity's right, he would go, and I think he'll get the right opportunity. I mean, I think the perfect place for him and for the Los Angeles Chargers would be that marriage. Inheriting a good team, most people think is underachieving, and the quarterback who's good enough to win you a Super Bowl. So, to me, that makes a heck of a lot of sense.
How fitting for you to call the game tonight, too, Sean. You had mentioned, the trouble with the snap game, and for a lot of Michigan people, something feels like Michigan's program after that failed snap kind of went south. And that now tonight, to bookend it potentially with a national championship against Washington seems pretty fitting and cool. Looking forward to the call tonight. We cannot let you out of here without asking you about our Detroit Red Wings, who have not been in the postseason for a long time. They are playing pretty good hockey after a little bit of a rough patch right now. But you mentioned, when the blue shirts, when the Rangers are good, how good is it for the game, for the NHL, when that red sweater with that winged wheel is humming along too?
Well, what do you want me? What do you expect me to say? Go in Michigan.
Just a layup.
No, I mean, it's hockey town, right? And you can't claim to be hockey town if you're not hockey town. It would be great. They're definitely improved. They had a great start, had a little lull, as you said, but I think they have the talent level of a playoff team. The problem is, both of these conferences. There's going to be a lot of competition for the last few playoff spots, around 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can't afford too many lulls because there's enough other good teams that'll take a playoff spot from you. But I know we have at least one ABC game there in Detroit, which I'm really looking forward to because I have not called. This is year 3 for us back in the NHL, and I have not called a game there yet. So I'm looking forward to getting back there.
You'll love it, Joe. Hey, I got one last one. I know I got to keep you. You got to run. Baseball. I know that's your love. Okay. I know baseball is your love. Hey. Mm-hmm. How about those Dodgers? What they're doing? To me? I'm a huge baseball fan, and it ruins the game for me. What's happened, especially with one team. And I'm a Yankee fan. People all abuse me, but that's This is over. This is way overkill. This is triple what the Yankees have ever done.
Oh, yeah, it definitely. I mean, it's the most overkill of all time, right? So, I mean, they better win the World Series now and for several years going forward because with the money they're laying out, that should be the expectation. And that being said, they'll probably win the most games in the regular season, I would think, of any team in Major League Baseball. But as you guys know, once you get into a playoff series, it's really who gets the hot starting pitching for 4 games, 7 games, however long the series goes. So, it's no guarantee. It's a great guarantee to get to the postseason, but no guarantee once you get there. But yeah, it's a little distasteful. And being one of the radio announcers for the Red Sox, I was kind of hoping maybe I mean, Shohei probably wasn't going to happen, but maybe Yamamoto.
Exactly.
Even Teoscar.
I know. Jeez.
What are you going to do?
Have a great call tonight, Sean.
Hey, Sean,
you're the best.
We can't thank you enough for joining us. Thanks so much. Enjoy the call tonight, and we'll be listening on ESPN Radio. Thanks, Sean.
Go Blue.
Go Lions. I'm going to be singing that song
Forward down the field.
Thanks, Sean.
A Lions team that will not yield.
That's right. When the blue and silver wave, stand and cheer the brave.
Sean McDonough, great stuff. One of the best. There he is, guys. Thanks so much, Sean. How great is that guy?
I love him.
And see, that he could do any sport.
He's called World
any
Series,
game.
Super Bowl, everything. He's one of the best in the business.
Absolutely
Hands
love
down.
him. Guys, we got to get a break in. When we come back, more Lions, more Michigan tonight. National championship game against Washington. But first, a message from
Premier Pet Supply. That's right. You know it. Give your pet the best. My boy Jeter gets his stuff from there. Premier Pet Supply, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers, with one difference. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, 60 brands of food, at least at the lowest prices, and curbside delivery if you need it. It's PremierPetSupply.com. Give your pet the best.
Hey, have you ever wanted a bar where you're a regular? We have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on a Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry-aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey, are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com. Click shop, hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com. Click shop.
Coming out of what we did last week, you know, that was a tough loss, and to come in this week, man, mentally locked in. Ready to roll, right mindset. It was a back and forth game, but I thought all 3 phases we complemented each other and really came out, to finish this season off the right way and get a win. And now we've done all we can do to this point as far as now we wait and see what happens, but we got an opportunity to get the 2 depending on these games after us. So I was really, really proud of the guys, really proud of them.
And that was Dan Campbell yesterday. Talking about the Lions win and how proud he was of the team. Also of note, Dan Campbell did speak earlier today. We played that for you. He said that Sam Laporta has an outside chance of playing this week against the LA Rams. They will know more within the next 48 hours. Khalif Raymond a little bit behind Sam Laporta in where they are in terms of injuries, but J-Mo will be back on the practice field this week. He will play on Sunday. Brock Wright healing as well. James Houston, I think he's getting there.
Yeah,
I think we'll find more out over the next 48
He'll get
hours
a few plays
with James Houston as well. Get to the quarterback. Give me 10 plays.
Yeah.
get to the quarterback.
Get to him, or at least get some pressure and let Aiden Hutchinson, who was blossoming before our eyes.
Yep,
Is he not?
No doubt. Playing really good football. Dominant football. Tom Mazaway, let's get to this. One of the reasons why they won yesterday was because of this guy.
This guy is unbelievable. Amon-Ra St. Brown, our premier Pet Supply player of the game. 7 catches, 144 yards and a score. And that score on a 70-yard pass, could you get a better zigzag than this guy?
Right in front of us.
Right in front of us. And for him to be carried into the end zone by Jahmyr Gibbs and then carried off the field by David Montgomery. These guys are so together. It is unbelievable. I just love what they're doing. This guy is a Pro Bowler. Am I wrong? He is a Pro Bowler. 1,500 plus yards. And what he does for this team, for him to not be a Pro Bowler, and he will be because someone's going to wind up not getting in, but he should have been named a first-team All-Pro to me. He's one of the best in the league. So thanks to Premier Pet Supply, you know the scoop. They're over 30 years in the business, family-owned and operated, 13 Metro Detroit locations, and they got 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available. Give them a try. Give them a call. I do. PremierPetSupply.com. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Premier Pet Supply player of the game.
7 catches yesterday, 144 yards, and 1 touchdown. You know, I don't think you can underscore as well the guy on the other side, Justin Jefferson, why Amon-Ra wanted to go. You know, they're not on the field at the same time, obviously, but he knew who was on the other side. He was, quote-unquote, hot. That he wasn't named a Pro Bowler, and Jared Goff went out and fed him as well.
Of course he does. And
he wanted to get over 1,500 yards. That was probably something that was very personal to him. He wanted to get in the double-digit touchdown category, which he was able to do yesterday. And then to have 119 catches in 16 games, pretty remarkable there, too.
It was fabulous. He is an upper echelon wide receiver. We're lucky to have him.
Upper echelon? He's
round,
a top 5 wide receiver.
4th round draft pick by Brad Holmes.
And he's going to make $100 million. He's going to be a $100 million player as well.
I hope so.
And he deserves every
penny.
Single penny that he's given.
He's won
that
and
he's
1A.
earned, I should say.
1 and 1A on this Detroit Lions team with Sam Laporta as far as Jared Goff favorite receivers. I hope J-Mo will become one of those very quickly going against the Rams coming up here. And you look how close. I watched those 4 o'clock games when I got home. I got to watch almost the second half of these games.
Terrible weekend of football.
Yeah, but everyone was sitting out. Cleveland was down 30-0 at one point to Jake Browning and the Bengals. By the way, to see Jake Browning's girlfriend.
Oh.
In her one piece.
She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing when she left the house.
She was, I mean, if you go to a ski lodge and you want to see the best looking ski bunny on the ski lodge, that's what she wore to the Bengals and Browns game. And she was flaunting it. And Jake Browning, I'm telling you, man, he is good. Jake Browning is an excellent quarterback from Washington. Mm-hmm. Excellent quarterback. He spoke yesterday after the game. I don't have it, but I'll tell you what he said. I'm one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the league. Unfortunately, I play on a team where we have a top 5 guy playing, and then Joe Burrow.
Right.
So, you know, it's just yesterday was unbelievable. Washington, they had the lead against Dallas. They were in that game in the first quarter, and they fell apart. And today, the first guy on the chopping block was Ron Rivera.
Right.
And what did they do? Washington has reached out formally to the Lions and asked to speak and interview Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson.
It's going to be everyone's going to ask for everyone's going to ask for these two guys. And you know what organizations do? You reload. We see what Philadelphia is doing right now. Philadelphia lost both of their coordinators last year.
Yep.
And you know what happened?
Well, they got off to a 10-1 start. What happened is they brought in Matt Patricia.
They brought in Matt Patricia.
And then they named him defensive coordinator.
Thank you.
Pseudo defensive coordinator. And they have gone in the toilet.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So that's part of it, obviously.
They play Tampa. They play Tampa.
I know.
If all 4 number 1, 2, 3, 4 seeds, if the top 4 seeds all hold par and they all win, you will have Cowboys-Lions in the second round.
You'll have Cowboys-Lions anyway if the Cowboys and the Lions win, regardless of what happens.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad.
Right.
My bad. Unless the Cowboys lose.
Unless the Cowboys lose, then you have a home game.
Correct.
That's right.
Do it.
Good job, Maz. I lost my train of thought.
I know. I'm all
forgot
over the
where
place.
I was
But
going.
you know what? Bad football yesterday. Bad football yesterday. We were talking about.
He's just like, bad football. We were talking about. I think we were talking about the Lions. I wanted to play this because one of the parts of the game yesterday, and I'm not sure if it translated to TV, but being in the stadium, every time the referee said number 70 reporting as eligible, there was this big roar.
Ovation.
There was this big ovation. Here's what Dan Campbell said about Dan Skipper and the referees, because I don't know his name.
It was Brad something.
But that head referee yesterday that did the Lions game was tremendous. We had the benefit of being in the front row in the end zone. There was a lady next to us that had a sign that said, "Hey refs, do you know does your wife know you're screwing us?
Does your wife know you're screwing the Lions?"
And it was really fun. And he came over. He ended up taking a picture with the sign. He was laughing. He was joking. He was very cordial.
The back judge was even laughing with us the whole day.
It was great. So here's what Dan Campbell said about Dan Skipper and the refs.
On Skipper, I know you mentioned using him more. Just wondering your thoughts on the way the crowd reacted to him all day.
Oh, I thought it was great, man. Everybody loves Skip, right? That he reported, he was loud. I thought he was very clear on what he did. And he got a ball out in the flat. Thought he tucked it away, ran up the sideline. So it was great. And look, let me say this, Brad Rogers, the head official here, he worked our camp this year. He's done a great job, and he was great. I thought he handled everything really well. Because that's not easy to come in after what happened in Dallas, and you're going to be the guy at our game. And he's a pro, and he has been. He was great with communication. So. Anyway, everything was great. But, I thought it was, for the crowd to get up for Skip, that was good.
Pretty darn funny. And how about Dan Skipper? I mean, he's just one of those guys.
He's a survivor.
Went like 6 years without playing in the NFL and then just found a home here. If that just doesn't tell you in your own life.
I love him.
To just stick with it.
Yes.
Don't let anybody tell you can't do something. And to continue to work for your dream. And now it's just paying off. Dude plays almost every game.
He's lost more jobs than me, and that is saying something. And he keeps coming back. He's like a cockroach. I'm a cockroach. I am. Here I am. I'm still here. I'm here.
I don't know.
Like Wayne
where
Fox
to go
would
with
say,
that.
"What do you mean I'm fired?"
Oh, my God.
Anyway, I love Dan Skipper. He is one of my favorites because I love the way he just keeps coming back. He just keeps coming back. Skip, we got to let you go. Skip, hey, we can bring you back to the practice squad. Okay, I'll sign. You heard him. He signed more contracts. He could read a contract as well as an agent can. That's how many contracts Dan Skipper has signed.
Well, it just fits, right? Doesn't he just fit here?
He does.
With Dan Campbell, with the coaching staff, with the organization, with the players, with the fans. He just fits here because all he wants to do is work hard, play hard, be very grateful, be very appreciative, and go home and then come back the next day and do it all over again. If that guy doesn't just exude Detroit Lion, I don't know what does.
Hell, man, I'd make him the extra tight end if you have to. Sit out, Sam. We got Skip coming up, man. I'm looking forward to this game, Ryan. I wish, honestly, it wasn't on a Sunday night game.
Can we talk about this next?
I wish it wasn't.
Because I got to tell you, and I'm curious to see what the people say in the chat. And maybe we can put up a chat. Pete, do you like the Sunday night game, or would you have preferred a day game
or
somewhere?
A Saturday. Or a Monday.
I think the Sunday night slot is the worst slot you could play as a fan. Obviously, it's going to get the most eyeballs.
It is.
That Sunday night game will be, I think, even more rated than the Monday night game.
I'm tired by then.
I would say as far as best, my slots would be Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday at 4:30, Sunday at 1, then Sunday night, then Monday, as first to last.
And my slot is Sunday at 1.
That's what you would have preferred.
That's
and you would have gotten Sunday at 1 if the Lions played the Packers.
Now, had we been healthy, I would have said, give me the Saturday game. Because, a short week is fine if you're healthy. The Lions are lucky they're not playing on Saturday. That extra day, that extra Sunday, and the night game, it probably helps them health-wise.
Let me get a break. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. And conversely, the Monday night game tonight. We will have a watch party here at Woodward Sports. We invite each and every one of you to stay tuned to Woodward Sports and watch it with us. The guys will be here in the house as well, getting ready, Michigan and Washington. Well, how do you feel about the Sunday night slot as a fan? I'm sure it's great. I love Sunday Night Football, watching Bills and the Dolphins last night. It was great. It's probably the premier slot, I would say, of the playoffs.
It is.
But as a fan, kind of sucks. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Feldman.
That's right. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer with 18 locations. There's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. And don't forget, take advantage.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 12th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, for over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. What a great thing. What a great dinner. What a great pregame meal if you're watching that Natty tonight. Head to Fairway Packing Company on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. If you can't make it in person, they will ship to you next day. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. Okay, guys, we're talking about, Lions and Rams, just the time of the game. Obviously, I think the #1 slot for television is that Sunday night game. There is no more sexier game this wild card than the Lions and the Rams. Yes, I understand Tyreek Hill is going back to Kansas City. Yes, I understand that Mike McCarthy is facing his old team that he won a Super Bowl with in the Green Bay Packers. But there is no sexier game than the Detroit Lions and the LA Rams. And that is why they're playing on Sunday Night Football on NBC. It's an 8:15 kick. By the way, according to those that follow this online, Darren Ravel, one of them, according to TickPick, where you buy tickets, the Lions have the most expensive get-in price on the secondary market than any other team in the wild card weekend.
I bet.
And it's by more than double.
Wow.
That is how high.
Dallas probably is the highest.
The Lions are the highest.
They are the highest.
By more than double.
Wow.
To get in the stadium. Get in the stadium.
Well, that's not fantastic, but I understand it. It
right.
is we're a team to watch. And, Pete, when you get a minute, put up the playoff pairings. You'll see the TV pairings coming up. But, yeah, to get in the stadium, it's going to be expensive. I know a lot of people I bet you they'll release standing room only tickets here.
They have those, I believe.
They already have them out there already?
Yeah, they have them out there, yeah.
Okay. How much do you think they would be? Couple of hundred?
$500
to stand?
Yeah, to stand. $400.
Holy crap!
To stand, maybe.
Wow. What would you prefer if all is the same? If you could go watch the game in the seats we were in yesterday, or stay home and watch it on Sunday night?
Stay home and watch it.
But because you pretend you were off Fox the next day.
Stay home and watch.
Still stay home?
Yeah. I was thinking about that, and I don't know. I don't know if it's my age or whatever. There is no better experience than to watch an NFL game at home. It has just gotten so good.
It's a television game.
It is.
Football is absolutely made for television.
I don't
go to
I don't go to a lot of games. I was so appreciative to go to that game yesterday.
So was I.
In the seats that we had. But after going once, I don't need to go again. Like maybe next year I'll go to one. You know what I mean?
I got you. Hey, that's a long flight down. A lot of steps to get down to that first level.
You know, there's something about TV. So, again, guys, I'm curious to see what you think. What was the? Did you have the vote totals there? I'm sorry, I missed it. But what do people prefer? Because I think you got a couple curmudgeons up here. Listen to us complain about the time of a home game for the Detroit Lions. I know.
The votes right now, 80% yes, 20% no.
They like the night game or they don't like the night game?
They like it.
They like it as a fan. Wow, that's great. Maybe we're totally off base here.
They like
but
it.
I know even my group of friends was like, I mean, it's a work night. It's a school night. And tonight with the national championship game, I hate the fact that the national championship game is on a Monday night.
It is 7:30 though.
I
They
understand.
did answer our one question.
Yeah.
Our one complaint was, don't keep us up too long. But last week, the Sugar Bowl went almost 5 hours with Washington in it and Texas. The Michigan-Alabama game was way less time. Two better teams, I thought. They played a cleaner game.
A lot of runs.
Yes,
When
cleaner
you got
game.
incomplete passes.
Yeah,
you stop that
tonight's
clock.
game is going to be a 4-hour game.
Mm-hmm.
It is. So 7:30, you're done at 11:30. I gotta put on Scott Van Pelt when I'm done. I gotta watch SVP.
You gotta watch SVP and Ryan Clark.
I gotta watch those guys. I do. Last night I was done. I was exhausted. I gotta stay up for SVP. I even tried to get prime time on with Chris Berman, but it wasn't ready yet because of the playoff implications. But I just lock in. I don't mind that it's tonight, Rye, but it's definitely more fun if it was a Saturday or a Sunday. No question. But that's NFL, man. That's their territory. That's the only problem. But at least they go at 7:30 tonight. Last year, you almost missed the first quarter. You didn't know it was on.
I turned it on at 8 o'clock, and it was 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, and I had no idea. And I'm curious, though, like Michigan will draw a big audience for sure, but how many people outside of Michigan and Washington care about this game tonight?
Good point. There's no SEC people.
Well, SEC.
Think about that.
But again, SEC was in it last year. Nobody cared about the game outside of Georgia and TCU. College football is kind of like
it's late.
Walking this tightrope.
It's
here.
late for college football. Truly.
Yeah.
It's late. These are school kids. They just went back for their new semester and all, and here we are playing a game in Houston. I don't like to get the games in Houston. Houston does nothing for me.
Zero.
It's
one of the reasons why I didn't want to go. And Braylon is there, by the way. That's why Braylon's not here today. Braylon is at the game in Houston. He's there enjoying the sights and sounds with his family and his former teammates. Plenty of them will be in the house in Houston tonight. Yeah, college football. I will say this. I'm so happy that Michigan is in the national championship, and I hope they win it tonight. Slowly but surely, college football, just the way everything is going in college football, is chiseling, just slowly but surely chiseling away my love of the game.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like thinking to myself, oh my gosh, all this stuff. But hey, not going to complain.
Not at all.
I am.
Are you confident?
I am confident.
But you're not.
I'm not
usual.
overly confident. I'm not usual. I have a hard time. Everybody knows my allegiance, right? I mean, look, right, when I'm wearing my colors here.
I know.
Right?
You went there.
Everybody knows my allegiance. I have a hard time previewing a game that I'm uncomfortable with. Because with this one, I obviously have a hard time separating my fandom from
professionalism,
taking a step back and looking at it analytically. As somewhat of an analyst, as somewhat of a professional, for lack of a better, there is nothing professional about me. There is nothing professional about me.
I don't got to say anything about me,
especially when it comes to this. And I am a little nervous. I am confident, but I am a little nervous.
What's the number right now as we sit?
Hold
The
on,
number
let me
right
look.
now as we sit.
Hold on, let me look.
It started at what? 4.5?
Started at 4.5.
Then it went down to 3.5. What is it now?
It is at 5.5.
Wow. So from 3.5 on Friday.
I don't remember seeing a
You
3.5.
did. You called 3.5.
Oh, really?
You
Yeah,
did.
it was. So it's up to 5.5.
It jumped up 2 points. Wow. I
So-
don't like that number, though.
Well,
you know that number.
It's when it opens. Yeah, I know. I don't like it. Usually, we have a thing in the gambling world that if a number lands on 5.5,
Take the underdog
right,
to win.
To win outright.
To win.
But it's got nothing to do with that. It's got something to do with the fact that Michael Penix is, I think, the best quarterback in college football right now.
Should have been the Heisman.
Should have been the Heisman Trophy winner. And, I just want the game to be played. That's all.
It's coming, man.
Yeah.
We're 4 hours and change away from kickoff.
Now, where do you watch the game tonight?
I'm watching it at home.
Yeah.
I've been invited to a couple of parties, couple of house parties. Obviously, Woodward Sports and the boys are watching it here.
Mm-hmm.
That was always fun watching the Lion games with them. But I think I got to get locked in. I got to be in my living room for this one. I do.
And I will be watching it at home too.
Want to watch it together?
No,
I didn't think so.
No. Well, I mean,
figured I'd ask.
Do you want to come over?
No. Do you want to come over?
No.
All right. We each want our home base.
Right. I mean, I just want to be able to be a little bit of a psycho. A little bit of a psycho, pacing back and forth. Like the way I watched the Rose Bowl I was a total mess. A total madman.
And you were on vacation.
And I almost feel like I was more of a mess watching that game than I will be tonight, though. I don't know what it is. It's almost like, and I mentioned this analogy before, I don't know what it is. It feels like the 1980 Olympic hockey team when they beat Russia.
Yeah. And they had to go.
And then they had to go play Sweden in the gold medal. See, I didn't even know who they played.
Finland.
We'll say Michigan won the national championship in 2023 or 2024. Oh, who they beat? They beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
I get it. It should be over right now, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It should be over.
It's like Michigan won the Big Ten championship in 2003. Oh, who'd they beat? Ohio State. I mean, they didn't. I don't even. Kids, Iowa, there was like zero emotion.
Nothing.
Zero.
How do you get up for
Not
Iowa?
even 0.5.
No.
And
Iowa.
not only that, Maz, but you're playing in an NFL stadium, which I don't.
Yes.
It's a nice. I don't care
Indy ain't for
it.
us.
No,
it's not.
And even the game tonight in Houston.
It's in Houston.
I'm
It's a turnoff.
It's at NRG Stadium.
Yes. It should
in
be
Houston.
outdoors
At the Rose
Bowl.
Or the Fiesta Bowl.
Oh, yeah, the Orange Bowl.
Or the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, definitely. I just enjoy a game more outdoors, especially a college game. Now, I think, is Energy Stadium, is it a retractable?
Yes, it is, but the roof will be closed.
Oh, for God's sake.
The roof will. I mean, seriously, am I like.
No. You know what?
I'm just trying to be honest with you.
You are gassed. You are. You're gassed.
I am gassed as a fan.
Yes, you're gassed.
What Michigan has put me through, from the scandal to Penn State to the suspension to Ohio State, and then capping it off with
you're gassed.
I'm gassed. He's the one that's yawning. That is the funniest thing in the world.
Ain't it
I
the
love
truth,
it.
man?
Oh man, this is so great.
It is odd that I'm really not so excited for the game. I'm not. I'm really not. I was so stoked for the Rose Bowl, and I'm not excited. It's so true. It's freaking the truth. I'm gassed too. I got this team on my mind. This is the team I got on mind right now. Honestly, we asked you the question on Friday. What's more important, Michigan winning a national championship or these sons of bitches getting to a Super Bowl? And it's these guys. It is.
I am so exhausted.
It's these guys.
I am so exhausted.
I got nothing to give.
I too my team's playing for a national
I got nothing
championship,
left
and
to
I'm
give.
like, oh, but the Lions.
I don't even want to talk about Michigan, to be honest with you. I don't even care. I want to talk NFL playoffs. Can we talk NFL playoffs?
Oh, God. Guys, Jennifer Hamond is going to call us in a little bit. I already feel like we've won the national championship, beat
did.
Alabama
We
at
won.
the Rose Bowl.
Congratulations.
We got to do it again. Thank
Congratulations.
you. Oh, God.
Go Blue.
Oh, God. Hammer will join us. Jennifer Hammer will join us from Houston in just a little bit. We'll get back to the NFL as well, but first a message from Swiss.
Do you have football on the brain? It's already been an awesome fall and winter with college and pro football this year. It's also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey guys, it's Maz for Bullseye, and I was there yesterday, and this is the real deal, this thing. Got a new read, though, so let me read it what they want you to know. Lion fans, it's the moment you've been waiting for. After 30 years, the playoffs are here in Detroit. Join us for the ultimate Lions VIP tailgate this Sunday, hosted by Bullseye Event Group and sponsored by Long Drink. At the Lions, are going to take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Food, music, entertainment, excitement, a chance to witness history. Let's roar together at downtown at Shed 5 at Eastern Market. Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com. Get your tickets today. There's parking outside. There's no reason you guys shouldn't go to this. It's the best tailgate in Detroit.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, we went yesterday. It was absolutely tremendous.
Kool-Aid's there. The boys are there. They're interviewing people. Brady. They go around. You guys get to be on Woodward Sports, too. They got to interview you. It's so fun, guys.
Top shelf alcohol. Food
you just
was
walk
great.
around,
yeah.
and you're like, is this included? Yeah, everything's included. Everything.
Guys, Cody Engel in the Woodward Sports chat.
Cody's coming on.
He is, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys in the chat. But I think he's spot on with something he wrote. If Michigan doesn't win this stretch of success, is like the Tigers not winning a World Series.
Yeah.
And it is funny because I look back on that stretch.
06 to 14.
06 to 16, but 06 to 14.
14 was the last playoff.
Yeah, right. And I feel like, as I look back, that the Tigers won a World Series.
Yeah, to me.
Because they give you so many moments. Sports is about moments.
It is.
Right? I will never forget the moment of,
Maglio.
Maglio, but I'm just talking about this year. The moment of the fourth down play in the Alabama game. The moment of JJ's tip pass that Roman Wilson got. Blake Corum scoring in overtime.
That jump cut.
I'll never forget beating Ohio State for a third straight time. I'll never forget Penn State. They ran 40 plays in a row. They threw one pass at the 7-minute mark of the second quarter in the Penn State game. Jim Harbaugh suspended. All this turmoil. I will never forget this year. It gave me so many moments I will look back on fondly. And yes, I would obviously like to cap it off with a national championship.
They already did.
Just to put a bow on it. But it does feel like they've already won the national championship by beating Alabama last week. Now, I know they did not. It's silly to say that. There is a game to be played tonight. But also, that is one reason why so many people have no connection to Ford Field.
Except now.
Ford Field has been open since 2002.
2000, I think.
2000?
Yeah.
There has been 0 playoff games there. You might be able take this year outside. Take this year away. You might be able to count 3 moments, maybe, and I'm just saying that generally off the top of my head. You might be able to count 3 moments, positive moments, that you could refer back to and say, I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life. You can't do it. You do $1 million at the Silverdome unless it's a Taylor Swift concert, or some type of
we're talking
anything
NFL.
Other than the NFL.
We're talking NFL at Ford Field.
But the building has no character because the building has, prior to the season, no moments, and that is about to change.
I remember when Ford Field opened, and it was as vanilla as you can get. If you remember the Silverdome, it was the end zones were blue. The end zones had the lions in the circus riding, the old lion circus riding with the lion logo that you see now on the alternate helmets, Mr. Ford's favorite logo. And on the other side, the N for the NFC. And Ford Field had blank end zones. They had beige padding around it. It looked like a brick building with beige padding around it and a football field with nothing on it. And it bored the living daylights out of me. And I was a season ticket holder when it first opened. I had 35-yard line tickets. I was excited. They go 0-16 when they did. And that was the end of me as a season ticket holder. But here I am now, and I'm the first. I'm going to tell you right now, Ford Field is, like I told you, it's the place to be now. Just the place to be. Just like what Seinfeld did, and the Maestro and George Costanza, this is the place to be. It is looking good. The only thing they don't let you hang signs around the concourse, around the field. Remember the Silverdome?
Yeah.
Always had signs. They don't let you do that, but you could bring signs in. At least the place looks like it's the home of the Detroit Lions. And it sounds like the place that the Detroit Lions play. And it is a phenomenal building right now. But it never had a moment until now, till this year. And that 06 Tiger team, to me, that was the World Series champion. They went and lost to a pathetic wild card team in the National League and the Cardinals. And too much time off. But the moments that Comerica Park is, I still look at Comerica when I come out of Ford Field, and I still get excited.
Yeah.
Just looking at that stadium, seeing the Tigers on top of the scoreboard. I get excited. I mean, I can't wait.
And have there been individual moments? Sure. Calvin Johnson going up against 5 defenders, catching a touchdown? Sure. Matthew Stafford against the Cleveland Browns when he dislocated his shoulder or whatever, that was a moment. But I'm talking in terms of team success. I think, to me, one of the best moments in that building that I can remember is only one. And that is when the Lions beat the Chargers, the San Diego Chargers at the time, in 2011 to ensure a playoff berth 3 years after going 0-16. That was a moment I will remember, and that's the only moment the team did a lap around Ford Field and high-fived.
I was hoping they were going to do that yesterday.
All their fans and stuff like that. I think maybe they'll do that this week when they beat the Rams.
I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But I was looking forward
touch.
to it. I'm like, wow, I got a front row, and this is the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a football.
Right, as an ode to the fans. But again, just it just hasn't become a building. And we were there with the banner ceremony yesterday, and I do think it's important to celebrate that type of success. I'm totally all for raising that banner now,
of course,
and making a big deal out of it now. But as C.J. Gardner-Johnson says, he wants to raise a couple of more banners. He says there is more work to do.
All week, we got 2 more banners to hang. You know what that means? We got 2 more banners to hang. A couple more guys, NFC and Super Bowl. We got a couple more banners to hang. 2 more banners. And I'm not falling short. We're not falling short. I'd be damned if that happens. We work too hard. Like Coach Dan said, we're seasoned for this. We're perfectly scarred for this. So I'm just appreciative to be a part of a great organization. Shout out to Sheila, shout out to Brad, AG, Dan, for just bringing me here.
There's a couple more banners to be hung, and I like that mentality. Never
they better
satisfied.
re-sign him.
Well, yeah.
They better re-sign him.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. No doubt.
Do you not agree?
I don't know.
You don't think he's a guy that elevates a team?
Yes, he is a guy that elevates
I know he's been on 3
Absolutely.
teams.
I understand. I just don't know the money part of it. That's all I'm saying.
Pay the man.
Sure. Is there no salary cap? Pay him.
No.
I love C.J. Gardner-Johnson. What I'm saying is, I don't know. Is it C.J. Gardner-Johnson or keep the offensive line together? I mean, this is a conversation we could have.
I know.
Maybe after the season.
I get it.
But I mean, I'm just saying, is it C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Taylor Decker?
Yeah, I get it.
Or Jonah Jackson? Or Penei Sewell? Or Amon-Ra St. Brown? Or I just don't know how that money sets up. Is what I'm saying.
I get it.
I am unfamiliar with where the Lions are cap-wise in relation to who is due.
I just want this guy as a captain of my secondary. I want him. I want his trash talk.
Yes.
I want him. I want that. What I see, I want. I loved what he did against Seattle. Sky was the limit, and here we are. He's only played a second game.
The Detroit Lions are better with C.J. Gardner-Johnson than without him.
Correct.
Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying.
I'm not. I got you.
Okay? I just don't have the knowledge of the salary cap and who is due and what that means for the building of the team.
Understood.
Which is where my hesitation
And I trust
comes
Brad
from.
Holmes.
Right. Absolutely. That's more important than anything. Guys, we'll get a break. When we come back, Kelly Stafford put out a video today. Curious enough. We'll have that coming up next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing: stay out. Whether you are at home or on the road, their 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
Oh, look at that.
How about
1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports Section.
I'm an amateur.
Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Thank you.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know. Located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And, of course, if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been for over 55 years. You could find the brand you want, all GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them. Hey, we are going to head to Houston now and go to the phones and bring in Jennifer Hamond from Fox 2. Hammer is kind enough to join us here. Jen, how are you? Thanks for the time.
Hey, Hammer.
Hi. I love, I've got walk-up music and everything, and I'm just walking onto the field at NRG Stadium, and it's beautiful. I gotta say, I am living the dream right now. It's kind of I'm going to set the scene for you outside. It's kind of a hot, humid, it's about 65 degrees, quite a windy day, but there are a lot of media people starting to circulate in here. Actually, the Michigan band, maybe I should FaceTime you at the next break. The Michigan band is already sitting in their seats in the stand 5 hours before the game, 4.5, whatever it is. I see the Washington band at the other end zone. I wish I could tell you if it was north or south. The team is not here yet. The team is probably just leaving their hotel in downtown Houston at this point in time and getting ready for probably what's going to be about a 20-minute bus ride over here to NRG Stadium. Houston is quite a sprawling city. I'm not sure if either of you guys are familiar with it or have been here.
I've never been there. I've never been there.
So my first trip to Houston was actually when the Lions played the Oilers at the Astrodome.
Wow.
I love to date myself with things like that because it was cool.
Love the House
Because I used
of
to be a
Pain.
huge Earl Campbell fan.
Love the House of Pain.
Right? I was a huge Earl Campbell fan growing up. So anyway, I digress. I'm jabbering because I'm so excited about the moment. I can only imagine. I've got goosebumps on my arms.
That's
I can only
awesome.
imagine what the coaches, the kids, their families, and the entire community for the University of Michigan is feeling at this time today.
Jen, I'll tell you, one of the things, I am so worn out from after how that Alabama Rose Bowl game went down. It's almost like I have very little left for tonight. I don't even know how to react to it.
Explain to her the 1980s.
So one of the things that I've been talking about,
And I'm with you.
Jen, is Michigan kind of slaying the dragon of the SEC and beating this 20-year powerhouse of Alabama, essentially 20 years of the SEC in Alabama and the Rose Bowl and the pageantry of it. It almost feels like to me Michigan won the national championship last week, and now they got to play another week.
Don't do it.
I know,
Ryan,
but listen.
who are you?
But I know, but
What have you
listen.
done with Ryan
I
Ermanni?
know, but it almost feels like the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team that beat Russia, and then all of a sudden they have to go actually play. They actually have to go play for the gold medal against Finland. I'm not.
And isn't it funny?
It just feels like that to me, like so much exuberance over beating Alabama and winning the Rose Bowl. It's like, oh my God, how much more can I take?
Yeah, well, a couple of things, a couple of points and counterpoints on that. I do love that narrative and that analogy because it's funny how history has written that story almost as the United States beat Russia to win the gold. I mean, it still certainly feels that way. But I do know that by the end of the night, if you see your team, 144, standing on a stage in the middle of the field here in Houston with that national championship trophy, you will definitely feel differently. I think this is going to be a hell of a game. It was incredible, I think, both of the CFP playoffs that we saw to get these two teams here. And it's going to be, I think, one of the most entertaining national championship games we've had in a while. It always often feels like we get blowouts this time of year in college football. But I think this is going to be a terrific matchup. I am so excited and intrigued to see how Michigan's defensive front handles Penix. I mean, that's going to be that is the matchup. I know that everybody keeps saying strength on strength, but I love it, and I think it's great, and it'll be fun to see Blake Corum running here, and it's incredible just the mission, that this team has been on ever since the end of last season. Because it's one thing to say it, but this team has put in every bit of ounce of energy, pain, commitment to get to this point. And they are really, this this is unfinished business for them, and it's going to be thrilling. I really hope we have a great game, and I anticipate we will.
Hey, Jen, I know you've been there for a couple of days. One of the things that I anticipate from Michigan tonight is that they play a much crisper game, a much cleaner game. You know, it had been 35 days since their last game again in the Big Ten championship game. I feel like now playing a game, you know, a week after their last game as opposed to more than a month after their last game, it'll be much cleaner. Do you anticipate that as well?
Absolutely. It's like a goalie that never faces any shots, right? You know, you've got to get your work in to get up to the level you want to be at and get your rhythm and timing down. And I think they're going to be a much different team. I think the fact that they were able to overcome that adversity, the way they beat Alabama, gave them not only a huge chunk of confidence, even more confidence than they had going into that game, but it also kind of, to your point, they slayed the dragon. They feel like they can beat anybody now. This is just merely a formality, although they're not taking Washington lightly. Don't misconstrue my words, but it's they know what they can do, they know how they can play, and they will be able to hopefully put that into action tonight and not beat themselves. And that's one of the things that Harbaugh talked a little bit about yesterday at that final coaches press conference, is that, you know, we've just got to play our game and not beat ourselves. And as they overcome adversity, similar to the Lions team, I think once a team kind of goes through some adversity, to be able to bounce back from it and still win is the most important thing that you can do.
Move on to the next play and just keep on doing what you do.
Hey, Jen, what's your thoughts on Harbaugh going forward from this game on?
Well, didn't I bet Ryan the last time I was in the studio there? I don't remember the date, and I don't remember the wager, but I believe I said to Ryan, Jim Harbaugh will leave after this game.
You did. Mm-hmm.
And he said, no way Harbaugh leaves. I can't remember what we bet. Maybe a steak at Hyde Park.
There you go.
I can't remember.
I'm in.
Me too.
I'm in.
Count me in. Either way.
I do think that this could be his last game. Who knows? I mean, what's going to happen with the NCAA and anything that might come down after this game. Obviously, JJ said the other day at Media Day he is 50-50 on a return, but just wanted to stay in the moment with this. I think not many people get to write the storybook ending. Definitely, Scotty Bowman did, skating off after his team won the cup. But I do think that, you know, this might be Harbaugh's swan song at the University of Michigan because, heck, there's a lot of NFL teams that want him and could use him.
But why walk away, Jen, when he's got everything here? He could write his own ticket here. He's got Don Yee now as his agent.
Absolutely.
He's going to get more money than what they've offered him. Why not stay here and just continue? Who cares about the NCAA? They're pittance. Even if they suspend him for freaking 6 more games or whatever, it doesn't matter because if they win the title tonight, they're playing with house money.
I agree with all of that. You just asked me my opinion on what I think Harbaugh is going to do, and I just think he still has some unfinished business in the NFL. And if he gets this one, if he checks this one off his list, I feel like I think I would do it.
Jen, can I get a prediction?
Earlier I said I thought I was going to take Washington and the points. I think it's going to be a very close game. I do think Michigan, what is it at, 4.5 now?
5.5.
Jumped up to 5.5.
No way.
Yeah.
So 5.5. Well,
Yes.
then I'm taking Washington in the points. This is going to be a close game, but I definitely believe that
Wolverines will be able to win it.
Just as long as Michigan wins, because I don't know if my heart can take it anymore.
Now, hold on, Jen. Before you leave, Jen.
You're going to stay up late, right? You're going to watch the whole thing.
God,
aren't you,
yeah,
Ryan?
you
You'll be
kidding
up.
me? Jen, I'll get my 10,000 steps pacing back and forth. Don't worry. By the time kickoff starts.
Hammer, what do you got on the Lions against Stafford? Give it to us.
Oh God, I'm so can I say this? I'm so annoyed by this matchup. It's just
me
because
too.
It's going to become such a huge media
It's a
spectacle.
sideshow.
Stafford against Goff.
Yeah.
It is a sideshow. I do think it's going to be a hell of a game, and certainly Stafford has the gun to beat the Lions. And the defensive backfield of the Lions and the secondary has really been one of its weaknesses at times. But I think if they get a serious pass rush on him and the offense is rolling and they can protect Goff, that everything will be okay. Sam Laporta not being available for this game will be a huge blow to that offense. Bring in Zach Ertz. Get anybody that you can in there. But I do think that the Lions can beat the Rams. I feel like there's almost more motivation for the Lions than there is for Stafford. Like, it's not like they did Stafford wrong.
No.
Right.
You know?
I almost think there's more motivation for Goff against the Rams. Yeah, I almost think there's more motivation for Goff against the Rams. And I also think, and just the last thing, Jenna, thanks so much for joining us. Kelly Stafford put out today the Matthew Stafford leaving Detroit 9-minute long video is, whatever.
Oh, I heard.
So I absolutely believe that Ford Field should loudly boo Matthew Stafford on Saturday or on Sunday. Where are you with that?
I hope they do.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope they do. I want them to. Like, this is what's going to really bother me. And I know a lot of fans love Matthew Stafford and they love what he did for the city. But at the end of the day, I'm not a fan. And if I were a fan, I would feel scorned. He left.
Yes.
Right.
He chose to leave us. We had a great new coach, a great new GM coming in. And I wonder certainly he loves his title. His ring is shiny. I'm sure they love their life in L.A. Everything is great for the Staffords. But at the same time, how meaningful would it have been for that guy to stick around and bring a Super Bowl or even a playoff win to Detroit, to the team that drafted him, in a day and age when that doesn't exist anymore? And I think that's one of the things kind of paralleling the Michigan team. I love that in a day and age when everybody's in the transfer portal and NIL and going to the NFL, the fact that J.J. McCarthy is the only quarterback that has been with his same team the entire time that was in the CFP. It's huge.
Kid. I love that kid.
I'm such a believer in, and now I'm contradicting what I said about Harbaugh staying or leaving, but I'm such a believer in staying with the sure thing, staying with the good thing, keeping it together, keeping the band together to run it back. I think there's so much meaning in that, and I really wanted just to see. I feel like Matthew Stafford showed us his character. Like, you know what? This losing has been so hard on me. I can't go through another coaching change and system change and rebuild, and that kind of bugged me. And I shouldn't be bugged by it. I'm going to be an objective journalist covering this game and everything. But as speaking in a fan voice, that is where I stand on Matthew Stafford's departure from Detroit.
The great Jennifer Hamond in Houston. Watch her reports on Fox 2 News at 5, 6, and of course post-game afterwards. Jen will have it all over the place on Fox 2 or the Fox Local app. You're watching us on the Fox Local app right now. You could watch Jen there as well later today.
Thanks, Hammer.
Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate that.
Thank you guys. Oh my God, you guys. And hopefully I'll come in and see you maybe later this week when I get back to town and we can talk some more Lions.
Love that.
Perfect.
Lions build up. Okay?
Open door.
All right, have a great afternoon.
Thanks, Hammer. You too.
Give me a go blue.
Go blue,
Bring it home.
Blue, baby.
Bring it home.
Come on now.
Bring it home.
Oh, man. I'm going to start the pacing right now back and
I got
forth.
the chills again.
I know. The closer, the closer we get to game time, I'm going to be a total psycho.
All right, but are you
Are
you excited again?
I feel sorry for your wife.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jen.
I feel sorry for you.
Please do. Yeah,
if she only knew.
Yeah, oh, man. Oh, God. Poor Lukey.
Right. Just make sure you record your reaction.
Yeah.
The last
so
one went
I
viral.
almost feel like I should come in here, but I don't want to go home and then come all the way back and then go all the way back home and then wake up early again.
That's what we want to see tonight.
Yeah. Oh, man.
If you want, we can hang. Maybe go to Hyde Park and come back if you want.
I've already made other plans.
Me too.
I made dinner plans with my wife.
Plus, I don't have my sweatpants here.
No, I need I need my
sweats.
Right. And a working, functional bathroom so I can throw up.
I need my box of Lucky Charms, too.
Guys,
gotta
you
have
get
my
a
Lucky
break.
Charms.
But first, and you got to have your big boy, too.
I do. Big boy on the way home, folks. Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmigiano, the Southern Comfort chicken bowl, but you want to start your day off with a great breakfast, the stuffed potato pancakes. How about the lumberjack and Santa Fe Garden omelets? And, of course, the new apple pie hotcakes are too good to pass up. And the gingerbread shake is still there. Get it while you can at your local Big Boy.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 12th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating. Always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Hey guys, it's Maz for Jack Labrador. $20 for this awesome game. It was a great stocking stuffer. If you got one for Christmas, you're lucky. But you got all the birthdays coming up. And this is a great gift for any person out there that likes to play rock, paper, scissors, because you can put that game to rest. And guess what else? Same old rock, paper, scissors, no more. Jack Labrador has revolutionized that tired game with 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. Discover the action at jacklabrador.com. Get on over there, click on the QR code above my bald head, and get your Jack Labrador today.
It would mean so much. I mean, it would, for our players, you know, for them to know what it's like to be champions, you know, just be simply referred to as national champions, and for their parents to have their son be a champion, a national champion, for their grandparents to have a grandson, for their brothers and sisters to have a brother who's a grandson. What it would mean to me, you know, for my kids to know their dad is a national champion, and for my parents and for my brother and my sister, that's the overwhelming thing. Just that so many people would be able to enjoy that, be a part of that. For my wife, you know, for her husband to be a national champion. For me, you know, not so much but for everybody else, yeah, that would be huge.
Thanks to our friend Brad Galley for that sound, right?
Yeah, pretty good stuff there, and I think it is important to cap this one off tonight against Washington, and I think they will. Tom, I think they will win this game, and I think that, you know, the more as we get closer to game time here, I do feel like Michigan will win by a touchdown.
I like the number going up.
Yeah.
Jen went the other way.
Yeah.
Amber went the other way, but she don't gamble. I like the number going up, so I say lay the points in this game.
You know, again, the thing that just kind of irks me is I just glance up at ESPN right now.
Yeah.
You've got Pete Thamel.
I know.
Speculating about where Jim Harbaugh is going after tonight's game. And I know, you know,
He's been anti-Harb from the whole time.
It is a piece of the conversation. Hell, we just asked Jennifer Hamond about it. It is definitely a piece of this game. But I think it's just that. I think it's just a piece. I don't think it's the focal point of the game. And I think I'm going to be so annoyed tonight if they continue to talk about Herb Street and Fowler, you know, the whole game about, Jim Harbaugh leaving. I don't think he's leaving. I would be absolutely knocked off my chair if Jim Harbaugh leaves Michigan. And it's not based on any conversations I've had. It's just based on a feeling. He is just, I don't want to say, he is just quirky enough to stay.
Yeah.
He doesn't, $20 million in LA to go play go coach the Chargers, $12.5 million to have a nice life in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
He'll get more
and be a legend.
He'll get more.
Whatever.
Right.
be a legend. He's 60 years old. He could have this job for the next 15 years or as long as he wants.
Correct. Like Saban.
Absolutely. And, you never know. In the NFL, you could be 4 or 5 years and you're done.
He'd be what we say Bo Schembechler's Michigan back in the day. He'd be that. Jim Harbaugh would be that. You heard Sean McDonough. This is the best 3-year stretch in Michigan football history. It just is.
No, it is. That's a fact.
1997 with Lloyd Carr was fantastic.
It was a great year.
Phenomenal year. But it didn't last. Sure, it blossomed. It born Tom Brady into the next era. But this is like you said, man. This was the 06 Tigers. This is the 06 to the 14 Tigers. Always a winning team. Always knocking on the door. And this is their chance. And I said at the beginning of the playoffs, 3 times is a charm. That's a saying. It's an old saying. It's a saying. This is their 3rd time here. They knocked the playoff door down. Now they're going to knock down the championship door. What makes you think Washington is a better team than this team? When Washington won how many games a couple years ago?
Let me tell you. Washington ain't stopping this train.
They're not.
Okay? Washington ain't stopping this train. They ain't stopping this Block M right here, okay?
Put your helmet on.
You think Michael Penix is going to have a night? He ain't having a night, folks. Michael Penix ain't having a night with Will Johnson back there and Mikey Sanders-Still. Come on, Mikey Sanders-Still, Will Johnson. He ain't having a night. It's go blue all day. It's go blue all night. And for the first time since 1997, the Michigan Wolverines will be named national champions. We'll be right back. Never mind. It's fine.
It's all right.
It's fine. No, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Let me tell you about Fairway Packing now.
Fix your hair. There it is. Looking good.
Let me gather myself. I wasn't ready for that.
You did very well, though.
These things happen organically.
It was great.
I even throw off some of my guys.
I love it.
Guys, Fairway Packing. How about having a steak tonight? How about getting some buddies together? It's a beautiful day outside. Open that grill up, get that fire going, have your buddies over, have a pregame meal, go get some Fairway Packing steaks. Maybe go in on that tomahawk, enjoy it.
How do you cook that tomahawk?
Carefully. On the grill. Slap it right on the grill.
Slow?
No, I mean,
I
go high heat for a little while, for a couple minutes aside, and then
I've
boom,
never had a tomahawk. I wanted to ask you.
You cook it the same way you cook a steak.
All right.
Fairwaypacking.com.
Go get them.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
All right, gang, let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. You can walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience. I think I need one this week, too. I'm going to see my girl Becca on Wednesday, I think. I am due. But you can register to win a trip For an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right. No expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. All you have to do is get your hair cut at Lady Jane's. You can walk into any Lady Jane's. It's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
That's amazing. It's cool to be a part of, man. It really is. We've got some bigger things we want to do, but absolutely, the regular season is how you get into the postseason, and winning 12 out of 17 is a good year. So, yeah, we're happy about it.
Not bad for a throw-in on a trade. Matthew Stafford to the Rams for a bunch of picks, and Jared Goff, too.
Right.
Take Jared Goff off our hands. Okay. 12 wins. First time since 1991.
Only the second time in the team's history. Guys, Sam Laporta, just seeing a couple of people in the chat, Ronan here as well. Do we have a Laporta update? Dan Campbell said earlier today that it is an outside chance he could play this week. Khalif Raymond is a little bit further behind him, but he said it's a matter of days and not weeks.
That's great.
So
That's
that is
great
very good.
So the Lions are coming in. They were pretty healthy going into this last game against the Vikings. So they come in a little banged up. There are other teams that are banged up as well. Let's put up the playoff preview for this weekend. Starts, of course, on Saturday. It's an all-NBC Saturday, Ryan.
There is a upset every year, Tom. Give me your upset right now. Pick the game that you look at and you say upset. Because there's going to be one. It's not going to be chalk, right? Not going to be chalk.
It usually isn't chalk. It's usually one team getting through it.
And I don't consider Browns over Houston. If the Cleveland beats Houston, I don't consider that an upset, though.
Do you have the numbers at all in front of you? Bring
hold
up,
on.
Get the numbers.
Hold on.
Go to your ESPN. I'm looking at the game. We've got the Browns at the Texans on Saturday, followed by the Dolphins at the Kansas
here
City
you go.
Chiefs.
I got it.
Okay. What's the Browns at the Texans?
Browns are a favorite, 2.5-point favorite against
in
Houston. In
okay.
Houston, yeah.
Dolphins at Kansas City.
Kansas City is a 3.5-point
That's
favorite
low.
over Minnesota or over Miami.
All right, we go to Sunday's early game. The Steelers at the Bills.
10.
Okay.
You're going to blow them out.
Packers at the Stars.
7.5.
Dallas
minus 7.5.
The Rams at the Lions.
3. It was up to 3.5, down to 3.
Lions favored.
Yep.
And Eagles at Tampa.
Eagles favored by 2.5.
Wow. Every number is close except for the Buffalo game.
Yep. And Buffalo and Dallas.
The Dallas is a touchdown.
7.5.
Yeah, it's a touchdown.
Yeah. I'll give you my upset. I'm going to give you my upset.
You go first.
Tampa Bay's beating Philadelphia.
Okay.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. There is so much turmoil going on in Philadelphia right now, and it's curious. And I don't want to blame one guy, but the minute Matt Patricia gets any sort of power with your organization, all hell breaks loose.
Sure seems
and
that
ever
way.
since Matt Patricia took over as the defensive coordinator, just a couple of weeks ago, by the way, all hell has broken loose. And I know there's some problems on offense too, and maybe or maybe not.
He's got a busted index finger.
He doesn't have anything to do with it. Yes,
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts does have a busted index finger. Baker Mayfield, Tom Mazway, everybody in this chat owes you an apology about Baker Mayfield.
Thank you.
Every single one of you owes Tom Mazway an apology for his stance on Baker Mayfield. And he led them to a division championship, and he is going to lead them to a win over the reigning NFC champions this week. I'm telling you right now, Bucks beating the Eagles.
I'm not feeling that, and I'm telling you why. That number to me tells me that. I think the Eagles, as bad as they've played, they started 10-1. And they are the only team that's ever started 10-1 to not reach 12 victories. That's in NFL history. That's unbelievable. But I believe Nick Sirianni will get these guys together somehow, some way, and gut a win out against Tampa. I don't think Tampa's got enough offense to beat Philadelphia. I think the Philly defense will make a stand in this game and win that game. So I would hope, I want Tampa to win. I do. I don't want to see Philly. I really don't. I know they're not playing well right now. I don't want nothing to do with them. They're the NFC champs, Super Bowl runners-up. If they're out, I'm feeling better. The Steelers are playing pretty good football right now, and they've got Mason Rudolph
Can I
as
just
their
say
quarterback.
something about, did you hear what Colin Cowherd said today about Nick Sirianni?
Go ahead.
said when Nick Sirianni got hired, he had a press conference. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. I could see them making a move.
Are you kidding?
I'm just reading it right now.
No way. They love him.
I don't know. If they lose at Tampa and there's all this turmoil going on, there you go. So we'll see.
Honestly,
I don't know about that part of it. I'm just telling you. The only part of it I know is that anybody that is involved with Matt Patricia is a loser.
Yeah. Look what he did to Belichick.
And I mean that. Matt Patricia turned Bill Belichick into a loser.
Into a buffoon.
Matt Patricia has turned the Philadelphia Eagles into a loser.
Yeah. And you all know what he did with us.
And I don't know. I just think you could look at Matt Patricia's track record, okay? Anybody that gives him power, okay,
is a
loser.
I don't know what he's got on people. I don't know. I have no idea. But you're asking me to pick an upset here, Rye. And I'm the most nervous about our game. I am.
And with that, we will see you tomorrow night. Go Blue. Stay tuned. Big day here on Woodward Sports. Big night. The watch party, national championship. Booner will be here. The fellas will be here. They'll have it for you. Go Blue, baby.
And go Lions.
Bring this natty home.